Good afternoon, YouTube. Just want to make this short video here. Want to talk about the Second Amendment and felons. So, as we all know, felons are not allowed to have firearms. A lot of people I see, they say that the Second Amendment and the civil rights are God-given rights, but they seem to forget that we are all people. We are all the same. So if your right was given to you by God, mine was given to me by God, and nobody other than God himself would be able to take that away. But it seems like we've lost touch with that sense, because there's a whole bunch of people out here in this world that have had that right stripped from them. Now, some of them I understand, yeah, I can get behind the criminals that are dangerous, that are crazy, insane, something wrong with them. I can get behind that. But for a lot of people out there, they are felons for crimes that were committed that really aren't crimes in my eyes, and probably a lot of people's eyes. You get, like, say, conspiracy to commit a felony. That is a felony in itself. So what that entails is that you had knowledge of or discussed committing some kind of crime, and you did not report it. You didn't snitch on somebody, therefore you are now a felon. And like get 3 DUIs or something, and you become a felon. So those people right there, they're not necessarily hardened criminals, but they don't have that right anymore to protect themselves, to defend themselves. Because not only are they not allowed to have firearms, but they're not allowed to have body armor for protection, and other things like that. But I don't see a lot of people out there advocating for people like that. We really need to turn this system around, because it's very just corrupt and crooked. You can go through the courts where you are to get your rights back, but then there's another thing is, if you have a misdemeanor domestic assault on a family member, got in an argument, you bumped into somebody, things like that, and the law was called, you now have had your firearms stripped away for life. Now, there used to be a channel that you could petition the federal court, to have your rights reinstated after a certain period of time, but they took that away. So we really need to figure out a way to make it fair for everybody. You allow some to have firearms, because I guarantee you, everybody that's watching this, you have committed some kind of crime in your life, and you may or may not have gotten caught. That is the only difference, is they got caught and you didn't. But we really need to come together and figure out some way to get the federal government to realize that, you need to implement. You need to give that shit back. You need to let those Americans apply for their rights back after a certain period of time. Now, being a criminal, when are you allowed to tell people that you're no longer a criminal? So yeah, you might have been a criminal at one point, but now maybe it's been 10 years, and 10 years has gone by. I don't know, 8 years. Are you still considered a criminal? You've changed your ways. You're doing things the right way. You're taking care of your business. Why are they not allowed to call themselves law-abiding citizens, when in fact that's probably what they're doing right now? They're following the law. So that was just a little insight. If anybody out there has some kind of information on how we get this done, who do we contact? It needs to get done, because the way the world is, we've seen this year in 2020, things have not been great. They have not been good for a lot of people in a lot of towns, a lot of cities all across the United States. And the crime rate is up. And those people out there that may have been a criminal at one time in their life, but have changed the way they were from a young man or a young woman, and now have grown up and taken care of their business, and they are law-abiding citizens, they are still being punished for that. And in my opinion, that is bullshit, and that is not fair. It's just like a prisoner when you go to prison. They go to prison, they get a hearing, people on the board are like, okay, no, they ain't changed, me to leave them here. Some people get in there, they're like, yeah, you know what, I think you've turned over a new leaf. I think you're serious about changing, and I think you're going to continue to stay on the outside. And then they're free. Alright guys, appreciate you watching. Thanks.